I'm Carmel Larson. I was the former president of American Mothers here in Utah County, and I have the opportunity to introduce today McKay Hatch, who we're thrilled is in town and could support our event, along with Gavin McKiernan. Will you wave? He's the National Grassroots Director for Parents Television Council, of which I also support and direct the local Utah County effort. So I'm really glad he's in town to support our event today as well. McKay's going to be telling you a little bit about his mother and what he does. And he's the founder of the No Cussing Club. It is a international organization, I believe now. He started it to challenge his friends and classmates to clean up their language. He's been featured abundantly in magazines, newspapers around the world. He's been on radio and TV programs, including MSNBC, Fox News, Good Morning America, The Early Show, Dr. Phil, and The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, and even more than that. It's estimated that the No Cussing Club story was heard and seen by more than 1 billion people worldwide just during the first week of March. So if you want to know how to get out your message, talk to McKay. He's got some good marketers. And he's also the star of the No Cussing DVD that shows people nationwide how to help them handle peer pressure. He also has a website, it's nocussing.com, that has quite a few ideas and ways that your own children can start a club in their high school or any school if one doesn't already exist. And they also have the No Cussing Challenge, which I really love. We've introduced to our family, and it's a great way to talk to your children about profanity and how to stand up for what you believe in and to be different in a positive way. So put your hands together and give a warm welcome to McKay Hatch.
Hi everybody, my name is McKay Hatch, and I'm honored to be able to speak to all the mothers today, and I'm also honored to be able to talk about my mom and how she helped me during this whole No Cussing Club, because I wouldn't have been able to do it without it. So I'm just going to go ahead and start right in. So it all started in, elementary school, when, none of my friends ever really cussed, but, it seemed like when I got to middle school, everybody just started cussing, all my friends, everybody I knew. And so I was like, what's going on? Because, my mom, of course, she always told me, cussing was something you didn't do. And my friends started using it every other word, so it was kind of surprised me. I was like, what's going on? So I went to my mom, and she said, you can be an example of them, or tell me how you feel. So at first, I was an example of them, and I realized, I had to say something. So one day we were sitting there at lunch, and one of my friends cussed again. And I just kind of came out, I was like, you know what, guys? Those words you guys are using, they're really bothering me. And right there, I thought I just lost all my friends, and I'm like, oh, man. But, my friends were actually pretty cool about it, and they said, I'm not going to cuss around anymore. And I thought that was cool. So later on in 8th grade, a couple of my friends came back to me and said, it's because we don't cuss. And I thought that was cool. So next day I told them the idea of a No Cussing Club. They liked it. We passed out some flyers and had our first meeting on June 1st, 2007. And from there, we wanted to bring it into high school. So we had to do something called Club Rush, which is all different clubs. They go out there, have booths, saying what club they are. So during that, we probably got cussed out like 50 to 100 times. During that whole thing of people walking by, and finally I saw this one senior. I was like, oh, sweet senior, because I kind of knew him. He was on the soccer team. He was pretty nice to me. I was like, oh, sweet, he's going to sign up for the club. And he just started cussing at me like everyone else was, and I was like, oh, man. So I was kind of sad. And later on, for soccer, I was like, I kind of saw him walking up behind me. I was like, oh, great, he's going to cuss me out again. But he actually came up to me, apologized to me. He's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cuss you out. I was around my friends. I felt like I needed to be cool. And he's like, sign me up for the club. So I signed up for the club, and later on we were choosing, the vice president and stuff. He actually became the vice president of the club, which was kind of cool. So he helped a lot with that. And later on, when we wanted to get the club further out, we went to a local newspaper asking to put, our story in there. And then the newspaper said, this club would last a month, just like any other club. And I was like, oh no, you didn't. And so we kind of, right there, that kind of gave me the motivation to want to keep going with this thing. So what we did is we wrote a letter to our city mayor asking for a cuss-free week, just a week to bring awareness, not to force anyone to stop cussing. So we wrote that letter, and a couple months later we got a call from them saying we were going to get a proclamation for cuss week. So I was really excited. And we ended up getting on, that's when we got a lot of news media after we got the proclamation. I was on like Ryan Seacrest and Early Show, bunch of different shows that I was on, which was kind of cool. And with all this good that was going on, we actually got a lot of bomb threats on our house and death threats of people calling, saying, you know, I know where you live, because they posted our address online saying that, that they know where we live. And so it was kind of scary. This is one of the, because it was on January 4th when we actually started getting all the emails. We got 60,000 at first. And this is what one of the emails said. This is the group that was after me. It said, the nation mourns over a school shooting. We laugh. We're the embodiment of humanity with no remorse, no caring, no love, and no sense of morality. So this is the group that was after me, trying to stop what I was doing. But of course, the love of my mother and everything she did, like every night she can kind of see that I was kind of sad and discouraged, but she'd always come to me saying, no, it's okay, you're doing the right thing, keep moving forward. And the whole family was always looking to her and see how, you know, how she was acting. Because however she was going to act, that's how we were going to live. She was kind of the example. She was always saying, you know, gotta have faith, not fear, don't be scared, you'll be okay. So she was always right there, always being next to me, which was kind of nice. And so with all these death threats, we were actually able to get featured on Jay Leno, which is kind of a good thing. That was a good thing that came out of it. And so the next year, we wanted to get the custody week even bigger, so we wrote a letter to our supervisor asking for a custody week. So that went out to 10 million people, and it was Los Angeles County that we got it to. We had a proclamation for that. And so with all these things going on, you know, I couldn't have done this without my mother and the love and power of her. I mean, she helped a lot during this thing. This is something that neighbor Ham Lincoln said, and I feel the same way about my mom. This is what he said. All I am and or can be, I owe to my angel mother. I love my mom a lot. She helped a lot during this good thing. And, I always want to be good because I don't want to disappoint my mom, and her love for me always helps me, and every time she gives me hugs, and it always makes me feel like she loves me. And I just love my mom a lot, and there's no way I could have done this club without her, because she was always right next to me at any time during the death threats and after Club Rush and different things like that. She was always next to me, always helping me, and so I love my mom a lot, and I owe all of it to her. So thanks for having me today.